Welcome to Storytime at the Roo Bus, a weekly podcast about Bonnaroo and other festivals. I'm your host, Sharla.
I'm Daniel, and have we landed on a name for the skeleton head?
No, I don't think we have.
I want to say that me and Brooklyn came up with a name for it when we did an episode in here before we went to Halloween last year, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name of this thing.
I think you guys should give him a name. Leave it in the comments.
Do you think it's possible it is a lady skeleton head?
Oh, it could be. Isn't there a way you can tell?
Well, I watched 2 seasons of The Pit, and that is a bit of medical expertise that I did not pick up.
I don't know. I'm not a biologist or a medical expert. I don't know. Sorry.
I do love that thing. I wish I had gotten like the full skeleton back at Halloween. This came from Target, I want to say, because many things do around here. And I want to say there was like a holographic skeleton like this that was like the full thing. And I wish I had gotten it instead of just the head. But this is a great table decoration. I will leave it here. So when you guys come in the bus or walk by it and see it in the window, it will be here. So yes, we do need a vote on what the name of he or her or they will be. I'll put it on a little prop over here so you can see it out the window.
Okay, drop your names.
Yeah, drop your names. Find it on the Discord. You can find the Discord link in the show notes.
In the YouTube comments, drop your name.
Right here, underneath here. Anyways, since we're talking about that kind of thing.
Underneath that. Remember that cake? That's the...
Underneath that?
No, I said, and underneath that.
Great. That's the thing that I have to find and edit in now that you talked about that.
Cake Rex. That's like some old school, like going back. CakeRex.com.
One of my favorite old school websites like that was People of Walmart. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
You don't see blogs like that anymore. All right, we're talking about the elder days of the internet. Back in my day, you had to pick the top 8 for your MySpace page, and we would put a lemon on our belt, as was the fashion at the time. Anyways, talking about that skeleton head in the window made me think that maybe we're close enough now that we can start talking a little bit of logistics. We were just on the phone with Shayna before we started recording, and she reminded me that as of today, we are 50 days away. It seems like it was just 100 days away. Time keeps on slipping into the future.
Slipping.
Anyways, logistics. So this is largely for those of you that have not been to Bonnaroo before. Welcome. Totem and all of us welcome you in. We're happy to have you.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. So this will be at the group plaza, which is group number or plaza number
5.
Thank you. I could not remember. And for a second, it sounded like you couldn't remember. So I'm glad one of us did.
No, I just didn't hear you.
I'm right here. Anyways.
I have allergies and it's stuffing up my ears.
Charlotte's been having a hard time the past couple of days. It's been a rough run. By the way, thank you for being understanding. We are releasing this a day late. I think we're going to release on Wednesdays from now until Bonnaroo, just to give me and you a little extra cushion after the weekend to record this.
We got so much going on. It'll be like, by the time Bonnaroo gets here, they'll be releasing on Saturdays.
We'll see how it goes. We are swamped. Anyways, don't worry about us. We'll be okay.
Other thing.
When you come to Bonnaroo, that was a long way to get here. That's how zany we are. When you come to Bonnaroo, it's going to be parked at that gravel road that leads from the entrance of Plaza 5 to the Plaza tent. We'll talk about that in a moment. So when you come by, we're going to make sure that this side, facing this way, will be to the gravel road. And we'll make sure that the front is pretty clear so you can get your picture taken with it and sign it. We'll leave a bunch of those paint markers out front so you can use that to sign your name, write a joke, whatever you want to. I do have a couple of requests when you do come by and sign it. This is more of a suggestion than a request, but don't sign the hood. It's not that I care. You can go for it if you want, but I will warn you that it will wash off or be eventually painted over. I always have to put touch-up paint on the hood. If you put it on the side, it's probably not going anywhere. So that's where I would recommend. Couple other things. There's a couple of places where there's some very memorable signatures. Just don't ride over anybody else's. Just do me a solid and don't do that.
Make sure you use a paint marker. There's several paint markers in this lunchbox right here. Make sure it's a paint marker, not a Sharpie or any other kind of marker, because those will just wash off in the rain. So make sure you use a paint marker, an actual paint marker. I'll probably grab a few more this yeyear because I think some of those are just kind of old.
They're gone. Yeah. The neighborhood kids have been coming in here and writing over everything. I had to kick them out. That's a long story. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that later in the episode.
But yeah, make sure you use a paint marker. And also just sign your name and just be respectful.
Yeah.
Don't come and...
Are you Kamala Harris? Do not come. Anyways.
No, I just imagine somebody... I always have this like nightmare that somebody's going to come up and just write
Yeah,
Oh,
please
because-
don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
And
I
like-
mean, if you want to write like a little tiny obscenity, who cares? Just don't write something huge and slightly
last
disrespectful.
year, I actually did have to, I mean, he's probably never going to hear this. So I actually
go
had to
for it.
stop a guy from putting a poster-sized sticker on the bus.
Yeah, that's not cool. I would
It's like,
prefer
oh,
you
I'm
didn't
trying
do
to
that.
advertise for do music
Yeah.
or whatever. And I was like, maybe not.
I would request
You
that
can
don't.
put on a garbage
Yeah.
can right there.
I would request not to put one larger than like a coaster on
Yeah,
there.
like,
Yeah, just have some common sense.
it's
I did want to recognize this
my
lunchbox.
vehicle.
I want to recognize this lunchbox before I put it away. Look how dated this is now. So it has the clock tower, the little globe that a big hand was holding at Planet Roo, the old school arch, and on the other side, I guess this is Rufus's grandpa.
That's Grandpa Rufus.
Yeah.
That's Papa Rufus.
Pawpaw Rufus. He wants you to chill on the front porch in a rocking chair and shill peas with him. Anyways, this episode is already turning so zany because it's been such a crazy week for us.
You gonna
And
shell peas?
I'm gonna leave this and not edit a damn thing. That's the plan. Now,
If you shell peas with your mama or your papa or your granny,
I totally did that. That's the price of dinner, man. You got to go out there and help them shill peas. And then you get some fried chicken and sweet tea and a Pepsi in a can.
oh yeah.
That's the way we did at my grandma's
Yeah.
house. And then you go watch the Braves game after that.
Did your mama let you have a little sip of beer?
No? Did yours?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You get you one little sip.
That's where it all went wrong. Okay, maybe we can do a bonus episode one of these days with all of these family stories. We do have some fun stuff for you. Now, Sharla, we're going to get to this in a little bit, but can you explain to everybody our guest this week?
Well, I can, but are we going to talk about the tent in Plaza 5 first? Or should we save that until after we come back?
I almost was like, let's edit that, but I'm editing nothing from this point on. I just want you to see how frazzled we are. It has been a hell of a week. Yes, let's talk about the tent. Let's get to that first, and then you can introduce our guest. So we were talking about Plaza number
5.
Thank you. And where the bus will be. But as you walk by the bus on that gravel road, I think we may have briefly mentioned this a time or two. So if we haven't made that big of a deal out of it, consider this an announcement. The Plaza tent at the Group Plaza will now be the Totem tent. I want to thank Maddie for suggesting that and making it happen. And I want to thank Corey and the folks with Roo for putting their faith in us and Totem and naming the whole thing after it. Now, I do believe Maddie will be on in just a few weeks to talk about the lineup at the Totem tent. Woo, it's a good one. I cannot say a word. I am sworn to secrecy. I will allow him to do all that. I won't even give you a hint, but man, I can tell you it's a good one. It may be the best ever. In fact, there is more than you may expect. I will wait and let him tell you the news about that, but it is going to be a lot of fun. So expect an announcement in the coming couple of weeks. I don't want to get too specific because that's his announcement to make. So we look forward to seeing you all before everything really gets going. Then some. More announcements will be made about some of the content that will be happening at that tent throughout the whole weekend. I understand there is a packed schedule of things that will be there. In fact, I can go ahead and tell you one thing that will be happening. I think this is okay to talk about. It's not a huge deal. But I had been talking with our new friend Justin, who is doing a Bonnaroo Guess Who game. I love these kind of smaller projects that people want to share with the community. I talked with this guy on the phone a couple of weeks ago while I had a layover in the airport. He's a sweet guy. He's
Super
got
cool,
a
yeah.
great project that he's working on. I had hoped to have him on this week. We thought about doing a double header, but because of a couple of factors, how crazy it's been, and for another reason I'll talk about in just a moment, we punted till next week. So for this week, we have our guest, who is...
Giggles the Clown.
Yes. This is one I didn't know about until Sharla was like, hey, I made a connection with this person. I think this will be great for the show. And I was like, yes, it is. Because in the same vein, I want to promote people's individual projects and art. Can you explain what they are up to?
Sure. So clown art is super, super popular now. It's actually like really, really made a comeback. And what she was telling me is that female clowns are actually getting more popular than the male clowns. So you think about clowns like back when we were kids, and you think about the traditional red-nosed, red hair.
I think Ronald McDonald.
Think Ronald McDonald. Think
Bozo.
Think Krusty the Clown. Think, those old school
Hey.
clowns. You think about even the scary clowns like It.
I don't like
That's
him.
not what clown art is anymore. Like, it really is getting to be these, like, really, for lack of a better word, these cutesy, like, female clowns and this clown art and this clown core. And so I've got a really cool interview coming up with Giggles the Clown. And she talks about that, and she talks about some really, really cool events that she's got coming up at Bonnaroo.
Let's go do that right now. Let's go jump to your interview from the other day with Giggles the Clown.
Okay, hey everyone. I'm here with Giggles the Clown, and she's going to talk to us about some events that she has coming up at Bonnaroo this year, and she's going to talk to us all about clown art. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about your first Bonnaroo and really your Bonnaroo story and how you got started going to Bonnaroo.
Right. Hi, I'm Giggles. This will be my 5th Bonnaroo. My first Bonnaroo was 2022. Which was a really interesting year to start going to Bonnaroo. It was my first music festival, and I guess how I found out about Bonnaroo, I'm locally from the area, so I just always heard that people were going to this music festival, and I was dating a girl at the time, and she just invited me to go like 2 weeks before, and I just was like, sure, I'll go, and I was really unprepared, but I still had a great time. And yeah, I've been going ever since. And that's kind of it.
Oh my gosh, we were all so unprepared our first year.
Yeah, absolutely. No, my second year was fantastic. I glamped. It was wonderful.
So now a lot of people are not familiar with the modern aspect of clowns. Like, we think about those scary clowns or from like my generation, I guess, from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And I know that you're absolutely not like that at all. So tell us about more modern clowns. Like, what are those? What's that about? And what are you about? And talk about the more modern aspect of clown art.
Absolutely. So, I'm not a clown historian, but clowns have been around for thousands of years. And that's kind of more the modern era of clown, I would say. Kind of started in the 18th century, actually, with what I look like. And yeah, but obviously I'm not a scary clown. Very interesting time period, scary clowns. But I think we're kind of phasing out of that, and you're seeing this kind of more colorful, kind of exaggerated version of clowning. And I'm not really sure where it originated from, but I think I first saw this maybe like about 10 years ago, with this kind of like really high feminine, girly pop clown look. And yeah, I would say that, like all clowning, it kind of came out of a very exaggerated, over the top, kind of self-expression. But I don't know, for me, I think it's easier probably to talk about clowning for me. And that is all about like finding your inner whimsy and then like expressing it. So I like to say that clown is very similar to drag. Drag is all about like gender expression, whereas clowning is about like that kind of inner whimsy and like your inner child kind of bringing that out and just in a very exaggerated form. So yeah, I also think it's interesting that very recently there have been more like clown girls, which is kind of what I am, which are these like super colorful, bright, fun clowns that are mostly girls or like gender minorities. So I love to see that. That's like very new.
That's awesome. That's a great explanation, because we actually have a couple people in our camp group that do clown art, and they actually last year they did an event at the House of Yes, and they did the everything clown, and they're amazing, like fantastic, amazing. And you explained it like really, really well. And that's so interesting that more females are clowns now, because you never would have thought that back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. You just would not have thought that. That's so cool.
Absolutely. But I think, especially right now, like all the clowns, most of the clowns I follow are like cutesy little like colorful girl clowns, and I absolutely love it. Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay. So how did you get into clown art? Is it something you've always been interested in?
So that's really funny, because I think it's a common experience that either like you grew up like wanting to be a clown, like your parent was a clown, like generational clowns, or you just did it one day and you're like, yeah, I like that. And I just kind of did it one day and then I was like, I don't think I can ever go back.
Mm-hmm.
I remember clowning at my first like event and I was hooked automatically. Like it is just such a good way to be so expressive and so like so you without worrying about like no one knows what I look like. I don't know how else to say that, but like just very freeing. And yeah, I don't know, it's fun, very fun.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So I know you're planning to do some events at Bonnaroo this year. So tell me about that and tell me how Bonnaroovians can get involved.
Yeah, so I'm doing a bunch of events. So my clown troupe and I, which is the Candy Clown crew, we are doing an event basically every day. We have some events that we're doing with Supergroup, because as you know, they're like their clown tent, their carnival tent that they stay in, got
Mhm.
demolished last year because of course it did.
Mhm.
So they're christening a new one. And we are gonna be at that event. And then we're also gonna be, I don't want to give too much away because it's obviously not my event, but we will also be with them on Saturday at Plaza 5 Group Camping Plaza for their event. But individually what we're doing, um so on on Friday we have an event that's my event and that is a stuffed animal adoption event. So I'm kind of running it like an actual adoption event. We will be taking donations. So you can bring your stuffed animal, and there'll be volunteers there that will fill out adoption certificates. And then people can adopt them and that they go through a whole process to adopt them. You know, we have to make sure that they are legitimate parents for these pets. So we're running that. And that will be at the House of Yes, around that plaza on Friday at 1 p.m., I think. And then I have to absolutely plug my Sunday event is a show and tell event in Where in the Woods. And I want to do a show and tell so bad. This is something I've wanted to do for a while because Ruvians are interesting people, and we all have that thing that we found on Thursday and carried it around the entire festival, and
Yes.
it gets a name and a story. I want you to bring that to us and tell the group about that. So we're hosting a show and tell. I think that's also at 1 p.m. At Where in the Woods. And then Friday and Sunday both, like just kind of that like weird morning before it gets crazy time, like between 11 and like afternoon. My troupe and I will be in the woods. We're in the woods, and we're going to be doing like face painting and bubbles, and I'll have puppet shows, and we're setting up clown advice booths. So if you want to stop by and get some clown advice, or get your face painted, or play with bubbles, or just meet some clowns, you can stop by.
Okay, I love it. I love every part of it. Oh my gosh. See, this is the kind of stuff that I live for, that I
Me
absolutely
too.
live for, because I love this stuff honestly more than the music at Bonnaroo. Like I
I do
love the
too.
community stuff, the stuff that people create.
I will
Like,
also plug my event that I'm not advertising. So this is a Roo Bus exclusive.
uh-huh.
My crew and I have handmade hundreds of party hats to hand out for the Skrillex pre-party. I have handmade like hundreds of party hats to hand out. So we're going to be kind of not in front of the arch, but kind of to the side of the arch. So come by and get your party hat. Get your party supplies because we got to make that pre-party, that Skrillex pre-party huge. So,
Oh,
if you
that's
see
so
me handing
cool.
out hats, please say that you're from the Roo Bus. Yeah, I would love that.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna come and get one. Oh
No,
my god,
I'll have a special hat for you.
that is so cool. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, I love it so much. Oh my gosh. This is the kind of stuff that people do at Burning Man. I mean, just
Yeah,
creating stuff for the community. Like, I love it so much. I love it so much.
absolutely. It's definitely
Oh,
something that I don't know, especially being a clown, I feel like I have to be again a little bit extra. So, and now that I have my clown troupe and it's not just me, we kind of want to do a little bit more and I don't know. I feel like I have to not perform for the people, but that's kind of why I'm here. I like to spread that joy.
Now, tell me a little bit more about your clown troupe. Like, how did you meet them?
So there's this phenomenon where like one person becomes a clown and then they convince everyone else to become a clown. But there's also the saying that clowns are pack animals. So this is why we have the clown posses and the clown cars and stuff. We just like to be together. And it just kind of happened. I convinced my partner to become a clown, and then I found like 8 other clowns. And yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like formed together. Which we are taking applications if anyone is interested in joining my crew. But yeah, I don't know. We just kind of find each other. It's one of my favorite parts about being a clown is like when I'm at a festival. Halloween was crazy. The amount of clowns there. We just like gravitate towards each other. Like it's something in the air when you see another clown, you're like, that is my person. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So where online can people find you? Like what's your social media and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I'm at Giggles the Slut, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the podcast.
Fine.
I wanted a name that people would remember, so it's all one word. It's Giggles the Slut. I don't think I'm gonna change it. But I'm just Giggles. And I think that's it. I'm only on Instagram. I'm on Reddit because of course I am. But yeah, it's Giggles the Slut everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. Keep in touch because oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like you were just blown.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for talking with us.
I will definitely be stopping by this year because I'll be in group camping anyways, so I'll swing by.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that was Giggles the Clown, and she will be at Bonnaroo, and definitely check out her events, guys.
Thank you so much, Giggles. I love highlighting the stuff that the community is doing. And I really request that everybody do their own thing, whether it be the clown stuff that Giggles is doing, or the Guess Who thing that Justin is doing that we'll talk about next week, or whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's something as small as like one of those give one, take one things with an extra spin on it. Everybody bring your own personal touch to Roo. I have been encouraging everybody to treat it a little bit like a burn. Maybe not, the big Burning Man that we've been to twice, but one of the smaller ones. Help create something in the community. Thank you, Giggles, for doing your part to create something in our community. Sharla.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody knows the deal. TotemFND.org, patreon.com/Roo Bus. Can you list the names for us?
Sure, of course. Jordan, Alyssa, Imani, Bradley, Jared, Olivia, Claire, John, Lexi, Danny, Lisa, Butter Crew, Nick, Delaney, John with Texas Roo Crew, Brady, I Am Rave Dad, Courtney, Casey with Texas Roo Crew, Christy, Jums, David and Aurora, String Bean, Sack and Jeremy, Amber, JB, Sam, Austin, James, Hygiene Queen, Chris and Shy, Dan, Ernst, Harris, Keith, Casey, Perry, Nick, Maddie with John Cena's cousins, Bruce,
John Cena did a great job at WrestleMania.
Andrew, Kent, Randy, Papa Josh, Bosco, Eric and Min, Evan, Chloe, and Sean.
Thank you, everybody. I rushed through that, but if you're new, if you're here to see Giggles or some of the other fun stuff, we do run a Patreon at patreon.com/Roo Bus. Every cent goes to the Totem Foundation. In fact, some of that hard-earned money is about to be spent right now to get a bunch of stuff for our booth at Planet Roo. Quick story that we may have talked about before. It was a blessing in disguise that it rained so much last year because we were running out of supplies. We underestimated how much you guys would be coming by to make crafts and things. So we will be well prepared this year. That is under control from what I have been learning about from our board. I'm going to have probably a giant pile of Amazon boxes come in the next couple of weeks. So thanks for that, Jax and Skylar. We got you guys covered.
So an update on our scholars for this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So our 3 main scholars that we have selected for this year, and then we have a partial one as well. Our 3 main ones have been selected. I am so excited.
Yeah.
I am so excited for them to be introduced. Oh my goodness, they are just phenomenal and amazing. And oh my goodness. I'm so glad. We've been doing this for 3 years. This was the first year that I've been in on the final interview process, because we do this kind of by committee a little bit. This was the first year that I've been on the scholarship committee and actually sat through on the final interview process. There is a reason that we interview them, because sometimes, you can write a great essay, but you may not necessarily just because you can write a good essay doesn't mean you're prepared to go to Bonnaroo, or that you're, have the maturity, because I was a very good writer.
There's a lot of factors in this. Like, there are different skill levels of writing. So we do want to hear a good story, but we're not going to award a scholarship just because you're a good writer.
Right.
I mean, that certainly factors.
I was a very good writer.
Yeah.
But at that age, no, I would have died.
But those interviews allowed us to get the bigger picture.
Right. Anyways, where I'm going with this, the 3 that we selected, sorry.
It's okay.
The 3 that we selected, oh my goodness, they are so amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Phenomenal.
I'm excited to introduce them to you. I think they will be notified in the next day or 2 if they have not already. Our committee is handling that, but we will have them on the podcast so you can get to see who they are. And please come by our campground over in the group plaza to come meet them when you have a chance. We will ensure that they will be around during the whole party over there at the Totem Tent. I mean, it is named for the thing that's in them there, so we'll make sure that everybody is around so you can say hello. A couple of other little things I wanted to get through before we kind of dive into the House of Yes announcement for just a moment. So this will be releasing on Wednesday. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. This will be releasing on your birthday.
No, you should have said it's releasing on Earth.
On Earth Day. But Sharla's birthday is Earth Day. So happy birthday, babe.
Thanks.
So if you're watching this the day it releases, send Sharla a little something for her birthday.
No.
I got a little something for you.
Oh.
I mean, not now, but tomorrow on your birthday.
Okay, great.
And then we're doing something after work. I will update you after the fact. I just don't want her to know. It's a surprise. Now, a couple of other things. Somebody is over there in the driveway next door. I'm not going to worry about that. But I wanted to thank Taco. We crashed at his house the other night, this past Friday night. Me and Charlotte went to go see Bob Dylan at the Soldiers and Sailors Auditorium. And that was fantastic. It was a little odd, as you would expect a modern Dylan show to be. He had his hood on the entire time. I mean, it was clearly him. He was hobbling around like an old man, had his glasses on. He played all along the Watchtower. I did not see that coming. That was amazing. He busted out the harmonica at the end. So he is doing that tour. And I was, a little surprised that tickets weren't that expensive. I bought them for us for a Christmas present. Months and months ago. I think I only paid like $60 a ticket. We were upstairs, like way in the back, but to be in the room with Bob Dylan.
I mean, I needed some opera glasses, but yes.
Still cool. Still cool. But I was joking with Sharla on the way over there. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go see Taco and Bob Dylan in that order of importance. So thanks, Taco, for letting us crash downstairs at his place. We finally got to experience Lo Mein, the place that they're always talking about on the What podcast. Barry's nephew helps run the place, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. I liked it a lot. It was kind of a house, kind of a dive bar, kind of a restaurant, all of the above. Oh, there's a bug. I got like some kimchi fried rice. I get rid of the bug, and it was really good. It was fantastic. So good little mini trip to Chattanooga, and thanks to Russ again. I was kind of slightly bummed that I couldn't see Stone and Barry. I invited them out to come eat, but we'll see them next time. That's okay. I think that's all I had. Do you want to run through this stuff about the House of Yes?
Sure, of course.
So this was announced today? Yesterday? It's been a couple of hectic days for me. I can't remember.
It was today.
Was it today? All right. So first of all, there were a lot of people that were a little worried that they may not even be coming. I'm pulling it back up because I had him on my iPad and it disappeared.
So while he's pulling that up, he pulled up Instagram, and it was like his Explorer, so it just showed his like algorithm stuff, and it was just all like tuxedo cats in little outfits.
There was also 2 or 3 things of Ray Ripley and one of Braves baseball.
The tuxedo cat.
If I see cats, I click. I watch the reel. Anyway, so Here's the big takeaway before we go through some of the individual events, which we are just going to briefly touch because I understand some of our crew will be doing a guest segment for us before too long, actually talking with the people from House of Yes, as we have done in the past. So the big thing to remember is they will be traveling through the camps, as Corey teased to us when we had him on the podcast.
Will they?
Way back. Yeah.
It
So
doesn't
that's
say
the
that.
yeah. So here's what it says in the Instagram post, for example. House of Yes is breaking out of the barn and taking the party all over the farm.
Oh.
Expect the classic unhinged shenanigans with surprise performances as we go all night in Plaza 3,
Oh.
Snake and Jake's, and more.
I missed the part about Plaza 3. Apparently, I cannot read.
Our friend Joe demanded that they bring it to the Broccoli Bar. I'm just now seeing that. Bonnaroo said the same thing. That place was unhinged.
Oh, well, Plaza 3 is where House of Yes was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also
so,
at
yeah.
Snake and Jake's and potentially some more places as well. So
It says and more. Okay.
and more, which could mean anything.
Yeah.
So we're going to have DJ Nico. Oh, Nico. They have a couple of different performances there. They're doing House of Yes and NSFW, as I'm sure it already was. Somebody saw that we're going to be having performances from Glow Job. I love that
I
name.
think they had that last year. I feel like I've seen that before.
We got Motherboard, Route 69. They are really going all out with these names. Dusk Till Dawn. That's some old lady thing. Till Death.
Geriatrica.
Thank you. I could not really read that. But we are just going to be jumping into this more because I understand some of the ladies that you see as frequent collaborators on the podcast are lining up a little something for us in a couple of weeks. Well, we will really dive into the details. But Sharla and I just wanted to quickly highlight it. And yes, we share the hype with you that they are back. Bonnaroo is a very pride-centric festival. We are happy to have everybody all over the rainbow over there, and I'm excited to go throw ass.
I'm sure that there's going to be more to come on the House of Yes stuff. I'm sure that this is the very first level announcement of it. A lot of people were pointing out where it says Miley Ray Stewart. That was, Miley Cyrus's character on whatever the show
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I never really watched it. Yeah, bring out the hate. I'm sorry.
Hannah Montana.
Yes.
Wasn't that sorry.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, Daniel, how dare you, as a 20-year-old boy, not watch Hannah Montana? Like, what, like, I don't know how old you are, like a teenage boy, like, however old you are, like.
I was aware of it, just never
Yeah.
watched it. Sorry. I do like Miley. Shayna, I like Miley.
Yeah, I think that was a little after our time.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, and so I saw so many comments today. It's like, oh, is Miley coming? Is Miley going to be there? Like,
We don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Sure,
like,
why not? I mean, could it happen?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's good.
Is it
That's
going to
this-
happen?
That's this year's pool.
That would be amazing if you just went to like a late night thing from House of Yes and it's like, oh, we got all these queens and all this insanity, and here's Miley Cyrus.
But
Then it really turns into a Stefan. This place has everything.
okay,
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure this is a very first level announcement. I'm sure that there's going to be details when the full schedule comes out. A couple things to note. Yes, Snake and Jake's is in Center Roo. It's not in Outer Roo. It's confusing because it's always listed on the Outer Roo schedule. So a lot of
But
people
it's not.
do get confused about that. Something also to note, if you want to pull that back up, Daniel.
Yes.
Here we go again.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Pull it over here. Okay. So something I did notice on this, it says on the Road Rage one, where it's advertising something about Snake and Jake's, it does say at the very bottom of it, at Snake and Jake's Love Shack. Womp womp for me.
Now, does that mean it's going to be that marriage barn thing again? I don't really know what that.
Okay. No, it's not
entails.
it's not House of Matrimony.
Yeah.
It's Snake and Jake's Love Shack, which is what it was last year.
Oh, so it's
So-
not really the Snake and Jake's that we remember from the elder days.
No, it's okay. So remember how they took away Snake and Jake's and they made it House of Matrimony?
Yeah.
And then last year they were like, oh, yay, we're bringing back Snake and Jake's. But for whatever reason, it was like Valentine's Day themed instead of like Christmas themed.
That's a little bit of a miss. I agree. But I'm okay with things shifting and evolving. I will reserve judgment until I see it for
Okay.
myself.
Let me have this one.
Okay, you can have this one thing.
Let me have this one thing. I want the Christmas barn, yo.
Yeah.
Give us the Christmas barn. Because Snake and, to me, that one doesn't make any sense because Snake and Jake's is based on a real bar in New Orleans that's Christmas themed.
Yeah. So it doesn't
So
make
that
a ton of
doesn't
sense. I
Make
get
a lot
it.
of sense.
Yeah. I still personally will reserve judgment, but I totally understand where you're coming
And,
from,
like-
and your thought is valid.
Have you seen the old, like if you went to Bonnaroo when it was actually Snake and Jake's Christmas barn and you saw like how it was decked out, like,
Yeah.
like
I do miss the days of old, but I'm okay with things changing.
yeah, I mean, I'm not one of these people who are like, get off my lawn, but just give us the Christmas barn.
Oh, can I end the podcast by telling the little story that I promised that I would tell earlier
No,
in the
because
show?
I'm not finished.
Oh, continued by all means.
Okay, hold on. I'm just playing before anybody comes for me because somebody will leave a comment saying that I'm mean to him. No, I'm just playing.
She beats me. Please help me.
Do
Please help
not-
me.
I do not. do
Somebody
not-
help me, please.
I do not.
Please help me.
Stop. Stop. Somebody will be messaging you being like, are you okay? Stop.
Okay. Can I end the show by telling the
No,
quick
I'm
funny
not
story?
Really not finished.
I'm not editing any of this. I want you guys to see how insane our lives are right now. Continue.
Okay. No, I did see a lot of comments. I saw a couple comments today saying, "Oh, well, this is House of Yes had so many events last year. Why are they only having just a few events?" Something else to remember, like I said, this is just a first level announcement. But secondly, we got to remember, like, overall, this is a scaled down Bonnaroo.
Inflation Roo.
They're expecting less attendance this year. They said from the very, very beginning, this is a scaled down Roo. So that also is something to keep in mind.
That opens a can of worms that I kind of want to talk about, but maybe I'll
But-
save for later.
I do hope scaling back on something like this doesn't affect future years, as far as relationships with
Yes.
things like this.
Let me briefly express how I feel. And I had been joking a lot this episode, but like this is, serious thought. I'm not joking about this. I hope that you're right. I hope that, get out of here, bug. I hope that Bonnaroo doesn't take us enjoying this Bonnaroo in the scaled back fashion as us saying we're okay with things continuing to be scaled back. I think a lot of us get that they have to, get back on their feet this year, and everybody is understanding that it's going to be a slightly scaled back Roo for that reason. I know that we keep joking about shrinkflation Roo, and, that joke is partially true in some cases, but we're mostly understanding. But I don't think it should stay shrinkflation Roo in the years to come. Once they're back on their feet, we need to start getting the bang for our buck that we had expected prior to shrinkflation Roo 2026. That's all I will say. I'm getting off my soapbox.
Yeah,
now.
no, I agree.
Did you have anything else you wanted to pop off about that before I get to my story, or are you going to beat me some more?
No, I mean, that wasn't popping off. That was just like,
No, you're right. I have a slightly different perspective, but
I think we were saying
Yeah.
the same thing.
yeah, we are. That's how it is when you've been married 20 years, kids. Anyways, can I finally share my story?
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of kids, I had talked about this on our Discord. I may have mentioned it once or twice on the pod. We're going to get personal, guys. We're going to talk about things that are happening here at our house and our neighborhood. I will keep a lot of the details out of it and keep it brief, but we had been trying to be generous to like the kids in our neighborhood. We've been here for a while, so we've seen them grow up from 19 years old to now they're teenagers. And for a long time, if you've been to our house, there's like a trampoline back here, there's a creek back here. So like the kids come down here to hang out. I had totally been cool with that. But now they're teenagers and they're getting up to teenager things. They had been coming into the bus and doing teenager things. So I was like, no, I think we're done here. So Sharla really was get off my lawn. I think I was a little bit too. It's okay. But you seem very unamused about this.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just tired.
She's very tired. It's been a long week. Guys, I will end it there since Charlotte's tired. Happy birthday, babe. You
Thank
feeling
you.
okay?
Mhm.
All right. I got something for you for your birthday
Okay.
tomorrow. I will update on social media and let you guys know where we went. It's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, yeah, we're going to turn in because it has been a brutal week for us. We have to be kinder to ourselves in the next
Yeah.
50 days so we can get there with good energy. So do you guys. So get to packing. You know everything that you need to do. It's going to be time to think about getting food before too long. We got to make a Publix run next month, I suppose. Everything else is getting close in here. We got to load in the totem stuff from the attic. We got to get in our clothes, load in the food and the supplies, and we're good to go. It's crazy how close it's getting. This place is like really clean. It hasn't been in a while, so that tells me we are pretty darn close. The time is approaching. Get out there and radiate positivity. We'll see you next week.
Bye.